It's Super Videos back at you for another video. In this video, I'm going to be doing my episode rankings for the first half of Season 7. So at number 8, I have 706. Now for 706, it was a slow episode and it was a bottle episode, but that's not the real reason I have it at number 8. Because of course, being a bottle episode doesn't mean that the episode is bad. But I have this here because it didn't need to be as long as it was because it was extended. And for a bottle episode of this nature, since there wasn't really anything much going on, it was the introduction of the ocean side, but there wasn't a lot of things going on. So because of that, I didn't think it needed to be extended, and it definitely didn't need some of the scenes that it had. And it would have been much better if they merged this episode with something else. Of course, this being a standalone episode kind of thing, it is difficult to do that, but this episode I just didn't like, and I think it's the weakest from this first half. At number 7, I have 702. 702, much like 706, is the introduction of a new community, so of course it was going to be slow, but even though I was looking forward to King Ezekiel's introduction and seeing Shiva and things like that, I didn't enjoy the episode as much as I thought I would. It did have some great moments. The moment where Carol met Ezekiel, the moment that we saw the exchange between the saviors and the kingdom, those were all great. Also the moment between Carol and Ezekiel, where Ezekiel was coming clean, that was great. But it was still a bottle episode that didn't need to be a bottle episode, and it could have been merged. Also, it was extended. It didn't need to be. That's why it's at number 7 for me. At number 6, I have 703. Now again, 703 was a bottle episode, it was extended, and it had the same sorts of problems that I just mentioned. It didn't need the scenes that we got. A lot of it was just trying to get us into Daryl's mindset, and I understand that, but I think it was overplayed a little bit, and it took away from the significance of the episode. In my opinion, you could give us everything we need in 30 minutes. So that's why I feel like this episode, again, because it was a bottle episode that was extended and it didn't really move the story forward a lot. That's why it's at number 6. Then at number 5, I have 705. Now for 705, it was a good episode. It was a bottle episode, but I feel like this bottle episode was a better bottle episode because we got a bit of story and it moved the story forward more than the other episodes that I just mentioned. I loved the scene with the walkers attacking the hilltop and the exchanges between Maggie and Gregory. Of course, at the end, that cliffhanger was an awesome cliffhanger, and for comic readers, we had something to look forward to. Again, some scenes in this episode could have been eliminated because they were insignificant, but overall, I did like this episode. Another part that was really great in this episode was Simon from the Savior's side. I think Stephen Ogg, who plays Simon, is a great actor choice, and he was one of the reasons I enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Then at number 4, I have 704. Now for 704, it was a big episode for comic readers. We got a lot of comic material come to life. Negan's first visit to Alexandria. It was definitely one of those episodes where the story didn't really move forward a whole of a lot, but because it had so much great stuff from the comics, so many iconic moments, and because I just loved Jeffrey Dean Morgan and him acting as Negan, I just love that, and seeing him in front of Andrew Lincoln, who plays Rick Grimes, and the dynamic between the two, it was just great to see, and that's why I have this episode at number 4. Number 3, I gotta put 708. 708, even though the big moments, the Spencer and Olivia deaths were big. Other than that, it didn't really offer too much, and it didn't really move the story forward a lot either. It didn't satisfy me, at least, to the extent that I wanted it to. That's why it is at number 3. Then at number 2, I have 707. Now the primary reason I have this here is because of Negan and Carl's relationship and the dynamic between them, and the whole thing that played out, and getting to see inside the sanctuary, the famous iron scene, Negan and Carl, getting to see their conversation, getting to see Carl open up about his insecurities, about his eye and things like that. It was great to see. Also at the end, it was a bonus when they went back to Alexandria. I really loved that. So that's why I have this at number 2. At number 1, I gotta give it to 701. I think 701, for what it was as a standalone episode, it was phenomenal. And there was a few things I had a problem with in this episode. I think it was very well done, very well directed, very well acted, and everything in this episode was just brilliant. That's why it has to be at number 1. Now, if we compare 701 to 616 and think about the whole cliffhanger situation from 616, that's gonna affect how I view this episode. But as a standalone episode of The Walking Dead for this half of the season, it's gotta be up there. It's gotta be at number 1. I want you to share your rankings in the comment section below. Which episode do you feel was the best episode of this half season? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll be back for another video.